Hi guys, welcome back to Wigs with Steph. I'm Steph. Today we're going to be going over human hair wigs versus synthetic wigs because people get very confused on this topic, and especially if somebody's newer to wigs, you may not fully have a good grasp on what are the differences and where should you put your money towards. Should you fork out money for human hair, or would you be totally happy and thrive in a synthetic wig? Okay, so I think first and foremost, when we're looking at wigs in general, like the most important part of wearing a wig is you want it to look natural. I mean, why else are you wearing a wig, right? You want it to look like hair. We wear wigs to wear hair. Does that make sense? So whether it's human or synthetic, what a person cares about above all else is, does it look like hair? Let's start with human hair. This is my human hair wig. She obviously looks like real hair because she's real hair. Now, the thing with her and with every other human hair wig that you'll find is the color will likely fade or change with time. If you're wanting that blonde hair and you're going to a salon to get it, how often do you go to a salon? Probably to get your roots touched up, probably like every couple weeks. So you kind of have to think in the same way with a wig, but you don't have to go in and get your roots touched up, right? Because this isn't going to grow anymore. It just is going to remain this length. It's not going to get any longer. You're not going to have grow out. But you are going to have fading because it's real human hair. Now, when I first purchased this wig, it was actually a lot darker with highlights. And that's crazy to think about, right? And because I wore her out in the sun, summer after summer, days upon days, I just baked that heat into it. What ended up happening was it lightened the whole wig, which I'm fine with. I'm cool with that. But what ended up happening is its beautiful color that I originally had it in, the darker brown, which is what I bought it for, is now gone. So I ended up going to Sally Beauty and I forked out some money to get my own stuff so that I could paint some darker color into her, which is what I did. And that's how she has like some different tones in her now, because she was just one solid color before. So needless to say, without telling you my whole life story with my human hair wigs, all of this just to say that human hair wig colors change with time. They absolutely do. And so the upkeep for color is still there, just like it would be with your normal hair, except of course you're not getting that grow out. If you're blonde, you'll need to put a purple shampoo on it to keep the brassiness out. If you have darker brown hair, depending on how the color was applied, it may get lighter in the sun. Just things like that. Things will happen to the color of a human hair wig that you will in time need to adjust or fix. Coloring with a synthetic wig, the good thing about synthetics and what I love is the color remains however you purchased it. You see all of these gorgeous tones, no matter how much I wear her out in the sun or the snow or the rain or whatever I do to her, she's not gonna change. She's gonna stay this vibrant and this beautiful forever, until the day she dies. And that's freaking amazing. Now, going back to the whole point of wearing wigs, which to you looks most natural? Because I'm sure you're thinking in your head, well, they both look pretty darn natural. If I didn't tell you this was a synthetic wig, would you have known it was a synthetic wig? Probably not. I can tell you when I go outside wearing her, nobody knows she's a synthetic wig. In fact, did you know that the wig that's on my head right now is synthetic? Probably not, unless you've watched my unboxing videos and have seen this wig on my head before. Honestly, that's the only way you would have known she's synthetic. So when it comes down to a human hair wig versus a synthetic wig in terms of coloring, which do I think tends to have the most beautiful coloring? Well, I think when you first buy a wig, they may match up. They may be equally considered as beautiful. But I think as time goes on, the synthetic definitely wins because this will not change, whereas the human hair definitely will. Every time you wash a human hair wig, it goes back to its original texture. Whether it's wavy or it's frizzy or it's perfectly poker straight, or maybe it's curly, like however it was meant to be. After you wash it, it will of course just act like normal hair and go back to its original state. Now, that means you can either wear it like how it would be in its original state, but a lot of times with human hair, there will be imperfections, right? Because human hair is not perfect. So if you have frizz or anything, you would have to style it. Before you wear this thing out, you would have to style it. So for example, if I put this on my head, which I will do actually right now, I'll show you what it looks like. Now this wig is really old, so don't judge me on it. No, this wig does not sit well on my head anymore. Anyways, okay, so this is what I mean. I would not feel comfortable going outside like this. I mean, it looks kind of like a rat's nest on the top of my head. Now, if it's just a Saturday and I was just hanging out at home or whatever, yeah, maybe I would wear it, or I don't know. I don't feel comfortable in it because I don't think it looks very good. The hair texture is great, obviously. Like, obviously it looks like real hair, and obviously it feels like real hair because it is real hair. But does the color look amazing and vibrant and beautiful? It looks okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing or vibrant, but that could be changed. I could change it myself, or I could take it into a salon and have that altered, right? But that's more money. So, I mean, it is what it is. By the way, she is an all lace cap. So she is one of the most natural looking caps you can get. Guys, don't judge like the style too much because she's been in a box in my closet and I haven't done anything to her. I just like whipped her out for this video. But essentially what I'm trying to show you is she's kind of a rat's nest, and it's really hard to take a human hair wig out of the closet, out of packaging, and just plop her on your head and go. It's insanely difficult because, you know, she's gonna have kinks in her. If I just sprayed her with water, she's not gonna turn perfect. She's going to probably frizz up. I will need to style her. Human hair wigs will take longer to style, although yes, it is real hair. Food for thought. So now I'm going to put the synthetic on my head and also let you know that this wig was also just sitting in a box in my closet. So because she's synthetic, I can flip her over, shake her out. If I had to, I can give her a little squirt of water. But then all I have to do is just flip her, put her on my head, adjust her. She's done. Her color's amazing. She's already styled, because the good thing about synthetic is every time you put water on her, or let's say you go out in the rain, once she's dried, she will dry back to the style she was in. She's not gonna become frizzy. She's not gonna become altered in any way. The only way to alter a synthetic wig is to steam her and put a different kind of curl pattern in her. And that's something you would do if she's just a regular synthetic and you're not technically supposed to put heat on her. But now, if the wig says that it's heat friendly, that means you can use your hot tools on her and you can straighten her, you can do whatever you want with her at that point. So in my mind, heat friendly synthetics are very, very similar to human hair wigs because you can alter them, but with the added bonus that if it's raining out like it is today and I was to step outside in this, get it absolutely soaked, and then come back in, it will dry back into this amazing style. So it just cuts your workload in half, or actually it just gets rid of your workload altogether, because you can wake up in the morning, you can plop this baby on your head, and she's ready to go and she's gonna look beautiful. You can go to work. You can literally roll out of bed and go to work. Like, how amazing is that? Whereas with a human hair wig, I've found after wearing them for years that you can't do that. People say human hair wigs last longer than synthetics. This is True-ish. So hear me out. Human hair wigs are real hair. So if you take care of them and you're putting moisture back into them, because by the way, they get really dry. Whereas a synthetic wig, it may get tangly over time, like at the nape of the neck because it's plastic. So when you wear it lots, your synthetic wig will get tangly. But so will your human hair wig. Your human hair wig will also need moisture put back into it. So whether that's Moroccan oil, coconut oil, like whatever you decide to use on it. People have their own opinions on that. Each wig has their own things, has their own maintenance requirements that they need to keep a wig good. So if we're comparing apples to oranges, which wig can last longer? I personally, some of you may hate me saying this, but I personally feel as though synthetic wigs last a bit longer. Because you could even argue that the color, because it fades on a human hair wig, that technically means it doesn't last as long, because then you have to go get it touched up. Whereas like a synthetic wig, yes, it will get tangly with time. But there are things you can do to refresh your wig and bring back its luster and bring it back to looking brand new. Which, by the way, I've made a video on that, how to properly wash your heat-friendly synthetic wig and then how to put heat back into it to get rid of those tangles, those mats, those messes, to make it look brand spanking new again so that you can have your synthetic wig for years and years and years. You literally don't have to do anything to it. Whereas my human hair wigs, I have spent so much money on them over time. Mind you, a human hair wig does save you money versus dyeing your own hair every couple weeks. So do I think wigs save you money in general? Absolutely yes. Versus going to a salon to get your hair done, wigs save you a ton of money. But human hair wig versus synthetic wig, which saves you more money? I would say a synthetic actually saves you more money. Whereas some people would argue this, and please put it down in the comment section. I don't mind at all. Love to hear your thoughts. But a lot of people think that human hair wigs last a lot longer than synthetics, but I do not agree. If you refresh your synthetic wig and you know how to do it properly, there is absolutely no reason your synthetic cannot last as long as your human hair wig, if not longer, in my opinion. If you're somebody who absolutely loves human hair wigs, that's amazing. That is amazing, because I also love human hair wigs. I've bought them many times before, and there is a time and a place for them. Like if it's middle of summer and it's hot and you really, really want a human hair wig for like your wedding or something, and it's gonna come absolutely gorgeous in the color you want it to be, by all means. But just know the color is going to change with time, and every time you wash it, you will have to restyle it and keep putting moisture back into it so it doesn't become, you know, a ratty mess. So now if we're talking cost between the two, human hair wigs tend to be a lot more expensive than synthetics, and that's simply because they are real hair wigs. So like that makes sense, right? Synthetic wigs, they are a lot more cheaper. So for myself, I can actually justify to spend more money buying a hand-tied synthetic wig, which is one of the most comfortable wig designs. As you can see, like this is a hand-tied. It's like very, very soft on the inside. There's no wefts. Each strand is individually tied into the cap. So when you wear it out in the wind or whatever, just go throughout your day, each fiber moves really naturally. And so even like the highest quality cap design on a synthetic you can get that feels really unbelievably soft is still a hell of a lot cheaper than a human hair wig. So if you're somebody who really, you're like, Stephanie, just tell me how much they cost so I can get an idea. Let me do that for you now. So a human hair wig, depending on the color, depending on the type of hair, depending on the length, like how much hair they're using on the wig, and also the density. It goes by density. That will either increase or decrease the cost to buy a human hair wig. But in general, they will usually be over $1,000 Canadian. Now, I've seen human hair wigs go anywhere from $2,000 up to $6,000. So they can get really, really expensive. Whereas, okay, so synthetics. You can get a really good synthetic from like a reputable brand like a Raquel Welch or something like that for around $250 Canadian, all the way up to, let's say you opt for a hand-tied cap like this one. Let's say it's really like a luxurious cap style. It could go up to maybe $600, $650. So there is a range there. If you're just wanting to start with a wig and you want the cheaper wig, go for a wefted synthetic. That's probably going to be your cheapest type of wig. If you do end up getting a wig, let's say you're new, please opt for a lace front because that's going to give you the most natural look. And if you're trying to save money but try wigs, definitely synthetic is the way to go because you can get ones that are cheap, at least a lot cheaper than a human hair, and it's still gonna look pretty natural. If you learned anything from this video, please smash that like button because it really does help my video and it pushes it out a little bit further so that people that need to see this video will see it. That's my hope anyways. I really do try to push out the most honest reviews for you guys. So if you like wig content, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button because I'd love for you to come back and hang out with me again. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you next time.